I have a house full, so you may or may not see people going back and forth, boys going back and forth behind me, but here we go. We're gonna do a little bit of makeup because I have to get out of here. I'm gonna use my main color and I'm going to do a little color correcting first, and I'm gonna press my makeup into my wrinkles instead of wiping it and swiping it, which we are no longer doing if we are over 35. So we're gonna go like this and we're gonna press our makeup in. My name is Krista. I am 42. I share one compact makeup right here. It's all of your makeup in one compact, which is just the coolest thing ever. The only thing that's not in there is your mascara. And if you're in the market for a mascara, I would go check out Thrive Cosmetics because that's the one that all the girls are raving about because it doesn't transfer. So I would go check that out. What I'm doing is I'm basically just using a cream color right here to cancel out my redness and even out my skin tone, and then we go back over and we contour because it's important to add dimension back to our faces after we apply our makeup, because if not, then we look super flat, and we don't want to look super flat. We want to look multi-dimensional as we were intended to be. So I'm using my detail brush. Depending on how much coverage you are looking for, there are different brushes. I am not wearing Thrive mascara. I wear Maybelline Full and Soft, but it does transfer onto my creams. I find myself kind of wiping it off throughout the day. I get these little black spots. Unless I'm wearing eyeshadow, then if the powder is there as a barrier, it doesn't transfer onto that, but it does transfer onto my lid if I'm not wearing eyeshadow. But I do love it. The Maybelline Full and Soft. I haven't actually tried the waterproof in a long time. I have issues with hair loss because of my gut health and my thyroid. So I found that wearing waterproof mascara and having to wash it off all the time, that my eyelashes were coming out as I was trying to remove the mascara. And I was like, well, can't have that. I don't need to lose any more hair than I already am. In my brows or my lashes or anything. So I choose the non-waterproof one, but then have to deal with the transferring. So when that is gone, my Maybelline is gone, I'm gonna get the Thrive and try it, and I will most definitely share it if I love it, and even if I don't, and tell you guys all about it. It's just a little bit pricier, and I'm all about budget friendly stuff. And that's why I like Saint so much, because each one of these things is only $16 and it's going to last you months and months and months. And I'm the same way with anything that I buy. I want to make sure that it is budget friendly. Thank you. The outer half, and actually I need to replace them. They are Ardell Naked Demi Strip Falsies, and I cut them in half. And then I only glue them to this outer half, and then these are my real lashes in here. And the reason that I do that is because I have round eyes. My eyes are round and they are small and they are close together. And if you have the same, we like to try and make the outer edge of our eyes have more volume out here and more kind of almond shaped, because not only to me, I like the shape better of the eye, but it also makes this more pronounced this way, and then it makes your face look thinner this way. So I will take all of that I can get as I get older and everything is going south. Yeah, so I cut them in half, and then they last twice as long, and they are not expensive. And I use clear lash glue, because if you use black, it's going to basically be like a liquid liner, and if it doesn't go exactly where you want it, then you'll have wonky black liquid glue eyeliner. So I would use the clear or the white or whatever it is, and then it just dries clear. I use the Kiss, I think, a white one that I get at Walgreens or wherever, and I also get this at Walgreens or Walmart. You can order them on Amazon and come right to your door. But yeah, I like doing that, and I find when I don't wear them, I literally feel naked. I like wearing lashes a lot, and I will always wear fake lashes because why not? I have tried magnetic ones, and I do not like them. Since my eyes are round, they have quite an arch on my lid, and that's also why I don't use the full strip falsie because there's such a bend in my lid that the side always peels up, and it's annoying and it tickles in here, and then I have like this flapping in the wind eyelash strip, and it's just not cute. So that's why I just cut it down, and then I'm saving money and all this stuff, and it's just fine. I replace them once a week. I do not necessarily suggest that because it does ruin my natural lashes having them on that long, but since I'm always on here live and creating content, I don't really care. I just want my lashes on. It gives me some confidence, and I'm not spending more time than once a week replacing falsies. Just not. I'm just not. So that is what I do. And right now, do you see how I just added that contour back into my face? It adds that dimension right in here. And if you see what it does, it kind of makes this nice and bright right there. Thank you for the love, for the hearts. It makes this nice and bright right here. That's where we want the attention. We want the attention right here. And that's why we shadow to bring the attention here. This is called our triangle of light, right? Down to our mouth. And that's why we keep that nice and bright in there, but not too bright if you're over 35, because it's going to make your wrinkles stand out, which we don't want either. So I used my detail brush for applying and my contour, my highlight, and then I like using my blush and bronzer brush. And I'm gonna use, what color are we gonna use today? I think I'm gonna use plum right here, since my clothes are pretty neutral anyway. Just a little bit of plum right there above my contour, and you can still blend it all together if you need to. My contour looks like it's down a little bit low, so I'm going to show you how to fix that. This one isn't as bad, but I'm placing my cheek color right over top of my contour. And if I have extra on my brush, this is what I do. So if I tend to get like too much when I go like that, that's not too much. But if I had too much, I take it up this way and just kind of blend it into what's on my forehead, because I'm going to wind up bronzing and all that stuff up there anyway, and it really doesn't even matter. All right, I go up that way. So plum, plum, plum. Hi, hey Steph, Tammy, and Susie, Judy. Everyone's hanging out this morning. So that's plum right there. And then, so I'm gonna show you this. If I came down too far, this is a little too far with my contour. We wanna stay probably about 2 fingers up from our jawline. So not only does it keep it brighter down here, but that's what helps give that chiseled look to our cheekbone, right? So if we bring our contour down too far, it kind of starts to look like a 5 o'clock shadow, and then it defeats the purpose, because then we're not just shadowing, because my cheekbone is way up here. So if my contour is way down here, it's kind of silly, right? So I'm gonna use, you scared me. I'm gonna use my color that I have here, and I'm just gonna kind of clean back up over that line and blend down. Just like that. You just basically magic erase it, and then you can blend it back out. If you need to then go back into your contour and do it a little bit higher up there, you can totally do that. But make sure we're blending up toward our cheekbone, so we don't get like that shadowing or like any muddiness or dirtiness looking down there, right? So we just contour right there, and then you go back over with a little bit of your blush. Right, so our color should always come around like this, hey Marie, in this C motion. And then if you want to put color on your nose, you can do that too, and it gives you that just a little bit of sun kiss and whatnot, right in there. You always want to make sure that your makeup is blended out, but not too much. You still want to see that shadow right there. So I'm going to clean this up too. I'm just using my main highlight, which is my foundation color. And then if you need to, you can apply a little more contour. Okay, so then I'm gonna use my finger. That's what I like to apply my lip colors with. The lip colors and our blush colors, they're the same thing. They're cream, so you're gonna get like that nice, like supple, moisturized look on your cheeks, which is important, especially as we get older and we just dry out. We do. I don't know many ladies who tend to kind of stay oily as they get older. However, if you were oily as you were younger, I'm sure you probably have great skin now with not a whole lot of wrinkles because your skin was moisturized all the time. All right, so I gotta blend this out a little bit right here. That was my contour there. And then sometimes I go on to bronze. So there are different colored bronzers, which I will suggest for you when you get a color match. If you haven't gotten a color match yet, if you go to my bio, there's a text button. And if you tap it, it literally, you can just send me a text and I will color match you, or I will send you my color match quiz. Or you can DM me, or there's a link in my bio right directly to my color match quiz. If you don't want to text me, I'm not going to hound you or bug you. It's just a nice quick way to like get in touch, for you to ask questions, and someplace for, I don't know, I guess so you can feel supported. I'm right there and it comes right to my phone. So it's really easy that way. So I used a little bit of plum on my lips. Many times, because I have maturing lips, when I wear a satin or matte color on my lips, I will top it with something that has a gloss to make it look more hydrated, because when I use flat paint on my lips, it really makes the wrinkles stand out. I have very dry skin and very dry lips. So I like doing that. And then, excuse me, pardon me, I use a little bit of rose gold illuminator. And this is gonna give a little bit of shine to those areas where the light would naturally hit you, right? So there, you can do your entire like Cupid's bow here if you want to. You can do your chin. It just gives you an added level of dimension to your face, which we should all have, right? Just a little bit of glow here and there, the top parts of our cheeks. What I will say though is if you add illuminator here, especially powder illuminator, if you have pretty big crow's feet like I do, it might accentuate them a little. So I tend to use creams, or if I use powders, I'm very careful of how much I get in there in that section. So the cream is really forgiving. And I just kind of blend it down and stay at the top part of my cheekbone. And then you can also use your illuminator right underneath that arch, which is gonna bounce the light off of there, which is gonna make the arch of your brow look even higher. You know, because again, gravity, everything is pushing down as we get older, right? So we wanna lift it all back up as much as we can. And if we can just do like those little tiny things, sorry, problems. If we can just do those little tiny things to help it out, why the heck not, right? So now I'm using my line brush, and then with this little tiny angle, and I'm actually using an eyeshadow color right here. It's basic, and that's Oak. I use both of them for my brows. So if you are similar to, if you have hair coloring similar to mine, I'm a natural like level 7 blonde, like an ashy blonde. You could use these colors on your brows too. And it is super important to make sure that we are coloring in our brows and kind of recreating our natural brow shape. It does so much for our face. I mean, I should have left one like uncolored. My brows, because I had them microbladed a few years ago, now I have like this permanent gray, which is not my hair, it's the tattoo on my face. And it does not do me any justice at all. And then they're very small. They're too short this way. It's not cute. So we're gonna color them in like this. And then what I do is I use this first, this Ulta little teeny tiny brow gel thing. And then I go over top with the powder. And I'll tell you what, even if I don't apply my makeup, I make sure to do my brows and my lashes, because it literally does change your face, and it makes me definitely feel more confident and put together. And then the makeup, the cream makeup and the contouring stuff is all an added bonus for sure. So I added a little bit of bronzer there. When I bronze there, a lot of times I will bronze here, but right now my neck is pretty dark. It's darker than it normally is. Normally my face is darker than my neck, so I have to bronze. Not gonna do that, but what I am gonna do is I'm gonna use a little bit of eyeshadow right here, this color Cafe, this taupey, yummy color. I'm gonna use that. If you have deep set or hooded eyes, you're going to want to listen to this, okay? We already have eyes that look like they are way back in there, or our eyelids are kind of hanging out over our lids, right? And we don't want to accentuate that. We want to open up our eyes and make them look more awake and younger and all that stuff. So don't go into your crease with a dark color, and don't go into your crease with a shimmer. You can if you want to. I'm just putting that disclaimer out there. I've done it a million times. It does not look good, okay? So I'm gonna take a medium matte color, Cafe, which I just showed you, and I'm gonna stay above my crease. So I'm gonna keep my eye open. I'm not going into my crease, I'm staying above it. And you wanna make sure that you blend it out. You'll also notice I am not applying dark eyeshadow in there. Just like my lashes and the volume being all out here on this outer half, you wanna make sure that the color, the most saturation of the color is out here on this outer edge. And you'll notice I'm just gonna keep blending because that is the name of the game. We don't want any stopping and starting points with our eyeshadow. You don't want a line, and we don't want a line, and we don't want a line. We don't want any lines. Everything should be blended out, right? Our contour, our makeup should continue down here. We don't want that line right there anymore. So you can tell where it stops and starts, but it should be like a fluffed out line. No harshness. And then if you have a little bit, you want to take just a little bit in there, you can do that. But again, we're staying above the crease. Now, it doesn't really look like I have eyeshadow on, and that's what it should look like. Unless you're really doing like a bold eye look, it should be an accentuation of your natural shadows, just like when we apply contour. Okay, so we have a natural darkening here, if you look at your eye without makeup, and we're just enhancing that. We're just kind of making it a little bit darker, or making the areas that are normally bright just a little bit brighter. We're enhancing our natural beauty is what we are doing. And then, so I look a little washed out now underneath. I don't have mascara on my bottom lashes, which actually I don't really love doing so much because then it accentuates the roundness of my eyes. So I flip my brush over, I go into the same color, and like that is too much. All I did was tap into it. I don't really want it to look like eyeshadow. I just want to, like this. I just want to darken it or deepen it just a little teeny tiny bit, just to give it a little bit of definition. And I'm gonna keep, again, the majority of the color out here and then blend in toward the center. But I'm not going to the inner corner of my eye with that darker color. We're gonna keep it just out here. Just like that. Just a little bit. We want it to look natural, all right? And then if you want to apply your mascara, definitely accentuate these in here, right? So these are my natural lashes in here. I do use my mascara on my falsies, right? Because there must be a hair or something in them. As we apply eyeshadow and our makeup, it gets on them. I do not recommend leaving your falsies on all week long like I do. It definitely ruins your natural lashes. When I take my strips off, like the length of my natural lashes right here, which really need to be washed, over here, they're like half that length. And it is not cute. All right. So I do that. And then if I apply mascara on the bottom, again, because of the shape of my eye, I can't do it the whole way across, because if I give myself volume here and here, that's where it's going to make my eye look the most open, right? It's going to give it height like this way, and then it makes my eyes look even rounder than they already are. So I keep the volume out here with my lashes, with my eyeshadow, my lashes, and then out here too. I really only accentuate out here. If you have the time to take a brush and do this, it would be way better, because then you wouldn't be depositing as much as I am. And then I sometimes get the little clumpies over there too. And I only want just a little bit. I'm not gonna rub this against my lash line down there. Up here we do, to do our stamping, but not down here. We just want a really soft lash down there. When we close our eyes in with mascara all the way around, unless you have huge loads of eye and eyelid real estate. As we get older though, we don't most of the time, and everything is kind of closing in, right? So we don't want to line around our eyes with eyeliner and really close our eyes in. I just totally touched under there. We want to keep it nice and open and fresh and youthful looking, right? And I do use liquid liner, and I know people poo-poo it because we're getting older, but I do use it. And I use it because it accentuates, I'm just gonna let that dry. It accentuates my lash line. I do not do this the whole way across my upper lash line. I do it underneath to stamp in between my lashes, which helps them look more voluminous and more like there's just more there. And I can't do this on my phone, but I do it along my upper lash line. I start just a little teeny tiny bit in here. And then as I get to the outer edge, because my eyes are round, I need more thickness out here, right? And then I do that teeny tiny little wing. And do you see, it gives like that almond. It just creates that almond. So that's the name of the game, is just to keep all of the accentuation of our eyes out here. And we are not going to take a black or a dark brown eyeliner and line all the way around our eyes anymore as we get older. No one should really be doing that, to be honest. It's kind of harsh. And if you want that accentuation with something, you go in with like a little brush, like your angled brush, and a nice brown or taupey eyeshadow, and then give yourself that line around it, like this smudgy look, okay? So I'm gonna try and flick this off with my spoolie since it dried. If you ever get mascara anywhere on your makeup, let it dry. Do not touch it. It will smear. You will have to wipe your makeup back off, and who the heck wants to spend time doing that, right? So you just flick it back off. Nice and up there too. Super duper easy. Okay, so make sure you go to that text button in my bio and get your color match. Make sure if you're already a customer that you are getting your lighter colors as we're getting into fall and winter, because I don't know about you, but my skin changes really rapidly when I am not out in the sun anymore. And I'm always like chasing my foundation color because I'm like, wow, I'm so light. Wow, I'm so light. But I also want to make sure that I'm adding warmth back to my face. I don't want to look washed out. So we want to make sure we're contouring, bronzing, cheek coloring, illuminating, all the things. And it's a super quick face. If I'm not talking, it's like 7 minutes. With my brows and stuff, it might be 10. But to me, it's worth it to spend 10 minutes to feel really good about myself and to get on with my day. And that's it. Boost my confidence, boost my energy. And I hope you guys do too. All right, creams are the way to go, especially as we get older. So I hope those tips were helpful. I'm gonna post this to my feed if you didn't catch the beginning. If you wanna go back and watch that and see my step-by-step process of my makeup, make sure you get a color match today because it's a good day to do it. You take a makeup-free photo like this facing the window and send it on over to me with an email address, and I will email you back all your suggested colors. Okay? I hope you have a great hump day and make the most of it.